Arduino has digital inputs in the shape of a button, and digital outputs, these on-off LEDs. But one of the cool things about Arduino is that it can have analog inputs and analog outputs. One of the things we're going to use with an analog input is this pressure sensor. This pressure sensor works like a resistor. The tighter you squeeze, the easier current flows between its two pins. We're going to use that pressure sensor with a 10K resistor. That's a brown, black, orange resistor in your kit. And we're going to connect it just like this. We're going to connect the resistor between ground and column 15 here. Just like that. And then we're going to connect the pressure sensor between columns 15 and 16. Like so. And then we're going to take a wire and we're going to connect column 16 to 5 volts or red. So I'm going to do that right here. So now what we have is a circuit that creates a different electrical signal based on the pressure that we put on the squeeze sensor. In order to measure that electric signal, we're going to wire from column 15 over here to the analog input A1 on our Arduino. Okay, so now we have an analog pressure sensor. Let's test our analog pressure sensor. The test program that you have already has a test for the pressure sensor. So we're just going to power up the Arduino. We're going to see the usual behavior. We've got lights and buttons. Now let's squeeze the pressure sensor. Notice that the pressure sensor works just like pressing the right button. In fact, the harder you squeeze, the faster it goes. Now there's a limit to how hard you can squeeze to make it go faster, and I did that on purpose to make sure that none of you, tried to use pliers or something on the pressure sensor and damage it. It's important to remember the pressure sensor is really only meant for, well, a nice gentle squeeze with the fingers. Okay, look at that. Our pressure sensor works, and you can clearly see that the harder I press, the faster the LEDs go. So there we go. We have our first analog input.